Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the DAX this morning? So firstly, you'll notice we are switched charts again. We don't have the ichimoku on at the moment, and we've got a pretty simple Bollinger Band with a 5 moving average strategy on the chart. The oscillators are still the same, 2 stochastics and a MACD, and obviously the 200 EMA. Okay, so as we move along, I'll explain how this works. But essentially it's a crossover strategy, and you can see when you get a 5 crossing over the 20 and price stays above the 20, you're in an upward trend, and when it crosses over the downside, you're in a downward trend. Okay, obviously on the higher time frames like the weekly, monthly, daily, the trends to the upside are going to be a lot stronger than the downward trends, because that's just the nature of the markets. It's not forex where you can go pretty much travel both ways for extended periods of time. Investors want a return, and the only way they're going to get a return is with companies making profits, which drives the market up. Anyway, right, so there's two views that we can take on this. The one is that we are consolidating, okay, and if I put a Fibonacci on this, you'll see we, on the 50% Fibonacci, 60% is pretty much on this level over there. Okay, that's the one view that we can take on this, and the other view that we can take is that we have validated a double top. Okay, so by closing below the swing low on the daily, this double top has been validated, and we are going to move to the downside pretty much to this tail, this tail, this tail. It's open, this tail here, and these tails here. So this is a pretty big level that's down here. Okay, so those are the two views. So quite simple. If we're either going up or we're either going down. And let's just get down to the daily. So the bulls and the bears have pretty much they each have a story to tell on this, okay? And we did close quite dramatically below the 200-day moving average, but this could also be an exhaustion bar, okay? And you can see it did stretch for a target. There is a Brooks gap that it stretched for there. So this could be an exhaustion bar. It could also be a validation of this double top. So, and on the higher time frames, what you're looking for is a return and a retest of this level, and we start turning low. That would validate this pattern. Okay, so right now, a simple break of it doesn't really validate it in my eyes. So let's just get down to the 4 hour and have a look at what we have here. So you can see on the 4 hour where we had this crossover here, and you can see so long as price is staying below the 5, we are trending to the downside. And it works pretty much on all time frames. It's been difficult the last couple of days or weeks actually with the DAX, because we've been moving sideways. But if you look here, you can see we had a break of the 2 moving averages, and we trended to the upside for quite a while. Okay, so that's pretty much the theory behind it, but as we move on, I'll explain more about it. Now, what we do have here is we do have some potential diversion setting up on the MACD. You can see how MACD created a low, price created a low, price created a lower low, but MACD created a high. It's busy, it hasn't created, it's busy creating a higher low, sorry. So that is a pretty good indication that there is some form of reversal coming. And also you can see from the Bollinger perspective, we closed outside the Bollinger and we haven't closed outside the Bollinger yet. So we have Bollinger divergence, which is indicating a potential move to the upside. Okay, now I'm not saying we move to these highs again, but it pretty much could come back to test the 20 moving average, this green line, or the 200. Okay. Let's just move down to the hour. Okay, so on the hour you can see this crossover strategy working quite well. Okay. Now, on the hour, if we look at the Bollinger bands here as well, you see we had a close quite far out the Bollinger, closer in, and then the market closed inside the Bollinger band. So that is Bollinger diversions. Okay, so there is potential that we get some form of buying at this level. Okay, I just want to move to the left on the hour, and then let's just tidy up these lines. So there is a swing low. There is, let's put this, there's a Brooks gap there. Okay, and if we start dropping below that, it gets quite messy, but it's probably going to be, let's look a little bit further, it would probably be around this area here somewhere, where this tail is there, and you can see that's inside bar there as well, inside tail. So those are my three levels. So let's just get back to present. Okay. Okay, so we're in the zone, and it's on the 50% Fibonacci. So anything can happen. We all know that. But I think for me right now, if I look at the setup on the hour, there is an opportunity for a long. Whether it's going to be a scalp or not is going to be the question. So for me, I think what I'll be doing is looking for a long here, see where we get to. If we do fail to get through, for example, the 200, or even if we just fail to get through the 20 moving average, call it quits and look for a move to the downside. Okay, so kind of skeptical of going short here. I really want to see a retest. So if we just come back to the 4 hour, so we've broken through this level. Okay, we've broken through this level here, not dramatically, but we have broken through it. So I'd like to see us possibly even keep moving, then come back and test, and at that point would be my short bias would come into play. But for now, we're bottom of a range as far as I'm concerned. Yes, we have closed below it, but I'd like to see a retest and get the retest to be successful. Then we can start looking for shorts. Okay, that's just the way I trade it. Might not be the right way, but it works for me. Okay, so looking for longs, definitely looking for longs in this area, and we'll take it from there. And I think what we need to do is just get down to the 12-minute, and you can see here we had inside bar engulfing, and then we fell off a bit, and then at the close, the US close, we bounced up a bit. Now the futures market right now for the DAX is sitting at 0.3% up, so we're sitting at 12,500. So we're sitting pretty much up at this area here. Okay, which is not above that level, but it's pretty close to the bottom of that range. Okay, so yeah, so for me, this is an area for me to look for longs, and the failure is going to be, well, I would say a failure would be a break below this pin bar. So stops are going to be pretty much here, and we're looking for longs here. Okay, so that's my view, and I think the last thing before we leave here is, apart from the Bollinger deviation here, we also have a bit of a channel. Okay, so we've got a bear channel. So if we do break out of this channel, then it's also a consolidation flag and move to the upside. Okay, and you can see how the oscillators are grouped at the bottom here as well. So that's kind of my play for today. It'll probably be off the 12 minute, maybe even off the 6-minute charts. So we're looking for a crossover of these two moving averages to start, and then a break of this trend line, and then we can slowly start looking for targets to the left here on every tail. So that's kind of what I'll be doing. Hope it helps, and enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Cheers, man.